Have you ever stopped to wonder if the seemingly innocent routines you follow every day might be silently chipping away at your lifespan? Picture this: a silver-haired senior sipping coffee on their porch, blissfully unaware that the small habits they've woven into their life, habits they've come to see as normal, could be accelerating their aging, weakening their body, and inviting health risks they never saw coming. For many over 70, these subtle behaviors creep in unnoticed, masquerading as harmless quirks until the damage reveals itself in the form of a diagnosis, a fall, or a sudden loss of vitality. But here's the spark of hope that lights up this story. It's never too late to rewrite the script. With a handful of simple, intentional changes, you can reclaim years, feel stronger, and wake up each morning with a renewed sense of energy and purpose. In this journey we're about to take together, I'll unveil 6 insidious habits that could be stealing your lifespan after 70, and more importantly, the practical steps you can take to break free from them. From the food on your plate to the whispers of your body you've ignored, each habit holds a key to how well you thrive in these precious later years. Stick with me until the end, because the final habit might just be the game changer you've overlooked your entire life. One that could transform your health in ways you never imagined. Let's dive in. Number 1. Ignoring subtle health symptoms. What if the faint ache in your chest or the fleeting dizziness you shrug off as just getting older were actually your body's desperate plea for attention? One of the most perilous habits seniors fall into is dismissing these small warning signs: fatigue that lingers like a shadow, shortness of breath that steals your stride, or unexplained twinges that nag at your joints. It's easy to chalk them up to the inevitable march of time, but these whispers can be the first cries of something far more serious. Heart disease creeping in, diabetes stirring, or even cancer laying its quiet groundwork. The real danger lies in waiting. Waiting until those whispers turn into screams, until a manageable murmur becomes a life-altering crisis. Your body is a storyteller, dropping hints long before the plot thickens, and catching those clues early can mean the difference between a minor tweak and a devastating blow. Take Helen, a sprightly 76-year-old with a laugh that could light up a room. She loved her daily walks and tending to her rose garden. But lately, she'd noticed a tightness in her chest when she climbed the stairs, paired with a breathlessness that made her pause halfway up. "It's just age," she told herself, brushing it aside as she sipped her tea and admired her blooms. Months slipped by, each episode a little more persistent, until one crisp afternoon, the tightness gripped her harder. Lightheaded and weak, she sank into a chair, her heart racing. A reluctant trip to the doctor revealed early-stage heart disease, her arteries narrowing like a river choked with debris. She'd caught it just in time. With a few lifestyle shifts, more walks, less salt, and a daily pill, she dodged a heart attack's bullet. Today, Helen's back to pruning her roses, her energy restored, her spirit unbroken, all because she finally listened when her body spoke. If you've been feeling off, new aches blooming, fatigue weighing you down, or changes you can't quite pin, don't let them fade into the background. Jot them down, track their rhythm, and bring them to your doctor like a detective with a case to crack. Regular checkups aren't just appointments, they're lifelines. Ask questions, dig deeper, and trust that your body's voice matters. Conditions caught early often bow to treatment, while those ignored grow roots too deep to pull. To live longer, to stay vibrant, tune in to the signals before they turn into storms. Number 2. Not drinking enough water. Imagine your body as a parched garden, wilting under a relentless sun, each cell crying out for a drop of relief. Dehydration isn't just a dry mouth or a fleeting thirst. It's a silent thief that can rob seniors of years. After 70, your body's water reserves dwindle, and that primal urge to drink fades, leaving you dehydrated before you even realize it. This isn't mere discomfort. It's a cascade of consequences. Blood thickens like molasses, forcing your heart to labor harder, straining its rhythm and raising the specter of high blood pressure, strokes, or heart attacks. Your brain, starved of fluid, stumbles. Dizziness clouds your steps, confusion muddles your thoughts, and memory frays at the edges. These aren't just senior moments, they're dehydration's fingerprints, mistaken for aging when a simple glass of water could wash them away. Consider Margaret, an 80-year-old widow with a knack for knitting blankets for her grandkids. She'd always been spry, but lately, standing up too fast left her head spinning, her energy sapped, her skin dry and cracked like autumn leaves. She blamed time, not her half-empty water glass. Then came the day she lost her way in the grocery store, her mind blanking mid-aisle. Alarmed, she saw her doctor, who uncovered the culprit: chronic dehydration. He prescribed a new habit: 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Within a week, the dizziness lifted like morning fog. Her energy bloomed and her thoughts sharpened. She even started knitting again, her fingers nimble once more. Staying hydrated is simpler than it sounds. Keep a glass by your chair, a bottle on your nightstand. Make water your constant companion. If sipping feels like a chore, set a phone reminder or mark a bottle with hourly goals. Infuse it with lemon, sip herbal tea, or nibble on juicy cucumbers and oranges, nature's hydration helpers. Steer clear of coffee's false promises or sugary drinks that parch you further. Your heart, brain, and kidneys will thank you with every clear-headed, steady step. It's a small act with a monumental payoff. Don't let this easy fix slip through your fingers. Number 3, poor sleep quality. What if the restless nights you've accepted as just part of aging were secretly unraveling your health, thread by thread? Sleep isn't a luxury. It's the body's nightly reset, and skimping on it after 70 is a habit that can steal years from your life. As melatonin fades with age, falling asleep becomes a battle, and staying asleep feels like chasing a dream through a storm. Seniors often wake to creaky joints, a full bladder, or a mind that won't quiet, robbing them of the deep, restorative rest that heals. Without it, inflammation festers, blood pressure climbs, and the brain ages faster, paving a path to dementia, heart disease, and a shorter life. Joseph, a 77-year-old retired carpenter, knew this struggle well. His nights were a patchwork of wakefulness, tossing, turning, staring at the ceiling as dawn crept closer. Mornings greeted him with exhaustion, his once sharp mind dulled, his energy drained. Over years, he grew forgetful, misplacing tools he'd crafted with for decades, and his doctor delivered the verdict: poor sleep was spiking his stress hormones, aging his heart and mind prematurely. Determined, Joseph fought back. He swapped late-night TV for chamomile tea, set a bedtime as steady as his old workbench, and dimmed the lights. Within a month, he woke refreshed, his memory keener, his days brighter. You can reclaim sleep, too. Craft a wind-down ritual. Soft music, a warm bath, a page from a book. Banish screens an hour before bed. Their blue glow tricks your brain into daylight mode. Keep your room cool, dark, a sanctuary of calm. Stretch gently or sip herbal tea to ease into rest. Consistency is your ally. Same time every night. Quality sleep doesn't just refresh you, it fortifies your heart, sharpens your mind, and stretches your years. Don't let it slip away. Make it your shield against time. Number 4. Eating highly processed foods. Picture a golden pastry, warm from the box, its sugary scent curling through the air, a fleeting comfort that hides a slow poison. After 70, indulging in highly processed foods isn't just a treat, it's a habit that can carve years off your life. These packaged temptations, loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives, ignite chronic inflammation, fuel diabetes, clog arteries, and cloud the mind. As the body's resilience wanes with age, these ingredients hit harder, their damage stacking up like bricks in a wall between you and vitality. They're engineered to seduce, hyper-palatable traps that keep you reaching for more, even as they starve your body of real nourishment. Beyond the waistline, they spike blood sugar, choke cholesterol levels, and erode memory, linking them to strokes, heart attacks, and dementia's creeping fog. Evelyn, a 74-year-old with a smile as sweet as her favorite snacks, learned this the hard way. She'd always loved her cookies and fast food runs, a reward for busy days raising she's and grandkids. Slim and spry, she thought her diet was harmless, until fatigue settled in like an uninvited guest. Her thoughts grew hazy, and her joints ached with every step. A checkup jolted her awake. Pre-diabetes loomed, her cholesterol teetered on the edge. Her doctor's words echoed. Processed foods were her silent saboteur. Evelyn pivoted, trading pastries for crisp apples and walnuts, fast food for hearty soups simmered on her stove. Months later, her energy surged, her mind cleared, and her joints sang with relief. You can rewrite your plate too. Swap the processed for the whole, vibrant vegetables, lean proteins, nutty grains, and fats that fuel rather than harm. Roast a tray of carrots, savor a salmon fillet, sprinkle seeds over oatmeal. Small shifts that build a fortress of health. These choices don't just pad your years, they infuse them with clarity and strength. If you're nodding along, drop number 4 in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and ring the bell. Your support keeps this wisdom flowing. Number 5, ignoring social interaction. What if the quiet of your days, once a solace, became a thief stealing your health one lonely hour at a time? After 70, retreating from the world isn't just a preference. It's a habit that can cut your life short. Loneliness rivals smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Studies say fraying your heart, spiking blood pressure, and hastening death's approach. As friends drift, family scatters, and mobility falters, social threads unravel, leaving seniors isolated in a world that needs their voice. Without connection, the mind dulls, stress festers, and depression digs in, each a weight that drags down body and soul. The brain craves chatter, laughter, the spark of shared stories. Starve it, and decline creeps in faster than you'd believe. George, a 78-year-old widower, felt this void deepen over time. Once the life of every barbecue, he'd retreated after losing his wife, his days a loop of TV and errands. His spark faded. Tiredness clung to him. Motivation slipped, and names he once knew danced out of reach. His doctor saw the signs. Isolation was aging him from the inside. Urged to try a senior group, George hesitated. New faces felt daunting. But one Tuesday, he went. A card game turned into banter, then friendship. Months later, his eyes shone again, his sleep deepened. His mind snapped back into focus. Connection had rekindled him. Don't let your world shrink. Reach out. Join a book club, chat with a neighbor, volunteer at the library, or call an old pal. It's not about constant bustle. Even a weekly coffee date or a phone laugh can lift you. These ties sharpen your mind, ease your heart, and weave a longer, richer life. Stay engaged. Your health demands it, and your spirit deserves it. Number 6, skipping strength and balance exercises. Imagine a single misstep, a rug's edge catching your toe, unleashing a fall that fractures more than bone, shattering your independence in an instant. Neglecting strength and balance exercises after 70 isn't just oversight, it's a gamble with your future. Age saps muscle like wind erodes stone, leaving you frail, unsteady, and primed for disaster. Falls aren't the end game, it's the aftermath. Broken hips, endless recovery, a spiral of decline that steals years. Many seniors think daily chores or a stroll suffice, but without targeted effort, coordination fades, bones weaken, and fragility sets in. Richard, a 75-year-old gardener, prided himself on his active life, tending roses, pacing his yard. Exercise? He didn't need it, he thought, until his legs betrayed him. Rising from chairs grew labored, his stride less sure. One evening, a tiny rug tripped him. The fall was soft, but his hip cracked. A fracture that chained him to months of therapy, his confidence crumbling with his mobility. His doctor was blunt. Strength and balance work could have braced him, softened the blow. Chastened, Richard started small. Chair squats, heel-to-toe walks. Slowly, his steadiness returned. His garden beckoned again. It's not too late for you. Try leg lifts by the counter, wall push-ups in the kitchen, or a one-footed stance while brushing your teeth. 10 minutes daily can rebuild what time took. Consistency turns vulnerability into power, keeping you upright, independent, alive. Comment number 6. If this hits home, I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe and tap the bell. Let's keep this journey going together. Final thoughts. As we close this chapter, pause and reflect. These 6 habits, ignoring symptoms, skimping on water, losing sleep, eating junk, isolating, skipping exercise, aren't just quirks. They're quiet thieves of your golden years. Aging isn't a sentence, though. It's a canvas, and your daily choices wield the brush. Small acts, listening to your body, sipping water, resting well, eating clean, connecting, moving. Paint a life not just longer, but fuller. Which habit struck you deepest? Do you see its shadow in your routine? Share below. Your story might lift someone else. Caring for yourself past 70 isn't about chasing extra candles on the cake. It's about lighting up every day with strength, joy, and freedom. Every step toward better habits is a stride toward a future you'll love living. Thanks for joining me. Drop a comment with one takeaway you'll carry forward. Like, subscribe, share. Your support fuels more insights like these. Until next time, here's to thriving, not just surviving.